Nepal. A lot of Rana leaders came and went in the interval of period. Even after the execution of the Prajaparishad leaders in 1997, BS anti-Rana agitation did not stop. Later the Nepali Congress started an armed revolution which was contributed by King Tribhuvan. The reigning king abdicated the throne and took asylum in the Indian embassy. Finally, the Ranas agreed upon the Delhi Compromise, which somehow marked their end. Ranas could easily sustain their rule as long as they pleased the British East India Company. When the British colonial rule in India came to its end, their strong foundation had collapsed. Following the Indian independence, the Nepalese Democrats, who had fought in the Indian War of Independence, came back and used their expertise in the agitation in Nepal. The Nepali Congress collected funds and weapons and operated the revolution from India. The Delhi Compromise was concluded under an active mediation of the Indian government, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru in particular. The threat came not just from Nepali students educated in India who were influenced by the anti-British movement, but also from within the Rana clan, from the likes of Mahavir Shamsher, flamboyant businessman and once one of Calcutta's richest men, and Subhana Shamsher, whose liberal education made him fight feudalism. The dynasty was also imploding because of the brewing rebellion among B and C class Ranas, classified according to the caste and ethnic hierarchy of the wives and concubines who begat them. Ultimately it was the homegrown revolt led by martyrs like Shakraraj Shastri, Dashrath Chand, Gangalal and Dharma Bhakta that fired the resistance. Other activists, Tanka Prasad, Ganesh Man Singh, Ramari Sharma waged an underground movement at considerable personal risk. The Ranas had hoped that Gurkha recruitment would work again to cushion them against Indian pressure, but times had changed. India's independence had already put the dynasty on the wrong side of history. As Chandra Shamsher conspires to unseat Dev Shamsher in 1901, he uses a hunting trip in Chittagong by Governor-General Lord Curzon to get a tacit nod from the British for his planned family coup. Much in the same way Nepali politicians today jet to Delhi before toppling governments to seek blessings. As Britain prepared to go to war against Germany in 1939, the Ranas debated whether to offer troops. Padma Shamsher argued that the Nazis were better prepared to emerge victorious and Nepal should back the winning horse, or remain neutral. Nepal sent 200,000 troops to Europe, Malaya and Burma anyway. Chandra Shamsher tried to ban animal sacrifices, but was overruled by his priests. So, he brought a revered Indian Swami to a public debate in Kathmandu which the pro-sacrifice clergy won. The debate goes on today with the mass slaughter at Gadamai. Mahavir and Subhana Shamsher, despite being Ranas, favored a militant approach to overthrowing the oligarchy, even setting up the Jana Mukti Sena, the exact same name given by the Maoists 40 years later to their People's Liberation Army. BP Koirala was inspired by Gandhi and initially opposed the use of violence. Koirala even met Gandhi to ask him to talk some sense into the Rana rulers in Kathmandu so he would not have to take up arms against them. Gandhi's sad reply, "I cannot help you, when my own people do not heed me, why will the Ranas listen to me?" To evade Mohan Shamsher's spies, the role of intermediary between King Tribhuvan and the Indians was played by German physiotherapist Erika Leuchtag. The two had a code word for Mohan, Goebbels. Indian ambassador CPN Singh had an even better channel of communication with Tribhuvan, confectioner L. Sharma, who used to carry messages back and forth slipped inside boxes of ladoos. Singh once took Tribhuvan for a sightseeing flight over Kathmandu so he could have a face-to-face conversation away from Rana surveillance. Boris Lisanovich of the 300 Club in Calcutta, and later Royal Hotel in Kathmandu, facilitated Tribhuvan evading his Rana guards during a visit to Calcutta to deliver a letter to Nehru agreeing to overthrow the Ranas. In Patna, B.P.'s group was preparing for a military campaign when he eavesdropped on an Indian embassy radio transmission from Kathmandu that said King Tribhuvan had sought refuge in the mission. Sagar Rana quotes, "The matter has now gone out of our hands. The king is under Indian embassy control." Mohan Shamsher made a last-ditch attempt to garner Indian support by signing their 1950 Treaty of Friendship and Cooperation. The treaty is seen to have been forced on Nepal and remains controversial to this day. Anti-Rana forces found out that Tribhuvan was under guest house arrest at Hyderabad House in Delhi, and they launched armed attacks in Nepal, capturing Bir Ganj. Nehru was furious, and again pressured the British and Americans to follow the middle path, much in the same way India got them to back its twin pillar doctrine in 2005. The 5-point Delhi Compromise of 1950 itself seems to have been a harbinger of the 12-point agreement between the 7 political parties and the Maoists in Delhi in November 2006. Establishing a tradition whereby every big crisis in Nepal is resolved with Indian mediation. Maharaja Hari Singh of Kashmir and Mohan Shamsher both stepped down around 1950, how he married Yashodhara Lakshmi, the granddaughter of Mohan Shamsher, and was sent by Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh in 2006 to convince King Gyanendra to restore parliament. If Gyanendra had listened earlier, perhaps Nepal would still be a monarchy. It is said that the endangered species today, the bird of paradise, found in New Guinea are highly prized and bred in many parts of the world for its gorgeously beautiful plumes. These plumes somehow found their way to the crowns of the Nepalese Shah kings and Rana rulers from mid-19th century until monarchy was abolished in Nepal recently. It has always been a mystery how these plumes were traded across miles and miles of oceans and how they ended up in Nepal. The Rana rule in fact was the dark age of Nepalese history, and many people suffer its consequences. Don't forget to share and subscribe. Peace.